All right, it's crunch time here on The Jump. On Wednesday, Aaron Gordon caught a hard foul from Kyle Lowry, who was trying to prevent a dunk. The collision caused Gordon to exit the game with left hamstring tightness. Now, Gordon has been ruled out against the Sixers today with the injury, so that's the update on that. Gordon and Lowry also exchanged some words. I mean, you saw Gordon use a bad word there aimed at Lowry, to which Lowry replied with his room number. The idea being he should come find him. I got to point out, these guys are at different hotels, but still, do you like the spiciness between these two?
I love it, Rachel, and it's a level of spiciness we haven't seen in decades because not often do you have guys just staying somewhere where it's easily accessible. You know which hotel, you know what room it is now, you can do it. I remember there was a certain NBA legend who once walked into the home locker room, threw his hotel key at someone he had an altercation with during the game and said, "I'm at this hotel, that's my room number, I'll see you there later."
But, Amin, here's the other reason we haven't seen it in decades. Because by the time they all play each other in AAU basketball, instead of saying, here's my room number, they say, hey, remember that time we shared that creamsicle at that big tournament in St. Louis, right? You know, these guys, they're saying, hey, I got beef with you. You got beef with me. I don't like the injury part of it, but bring this stuff on all day, every day. I love it.
All right, well, Jackie, to use your word, I'm calling shenanigans on you because during the Jordan documentary, we found out that Danny Ainge and Jordan played golf together.
I know.
Right? So
I
come on,
didn't know
during a
that.
key playoff series. So don't give me this whole players today stuff.
But, Rach,
apparently, it's been going on for a while.
That's because Danny's a golf addict. That's why that happened.
All I know is that they have a lot of protocols here. Players are not supposed to be in each other's rooms because that is considered a COVID risk. So maybe they're going to have to, shadow box each other from 6 feet away. I don't know. All right, let's move on to the Mavericks. FaceTime. The Mavs plays the Bucks tomorrow, as you just heard on ESPN. This will obviously be a tough test for them. I was at this game last night. Dallas was tied with the Clippers, 101, midway through the fourth quarter. Then they went on to get outscored by, yes, guys, 25-10 for the rest of the game. Yet another example of the Mavs struggling to close out a close game. Isaac Lee of The Ringer, he had this tweet recently, how every Dallas Maverick game goes, which is really amazing. The illustration telling the story. You start out well, you finish not so much. Shout out to him. But Jackie, that's right. It is like Game of Thrones. How do you expect the Mavs to figure these issues out? Because they've just got a few more seeding games to do it.
Well, Rachel, if this was something unique to the bubble, I would say maybe they can work their way out of it. But go back and look at the entirety of this very, very odd 2019-20 NBA season. This is how it went all year long for the Mavericks. They were the worst among clutch scoring among most of the teams. So Luka Doncic is 21 years old. I'm going to give him a little more time to figure out how he can close out games, because Lord knows he does everything else pretty well right now.
Yeah, part of this is Luka's growth and maturity. It's not just making shots and taking shots, it's also making your teammates better. I still feel like Porzingis is a guy that just merely benefits off assists. He doesn't become a better player playing alongside Luka, and that'll come with time. The other thing, though, is this is the centralization of the Mavs offense. It's all in Luka's hands every single time down. It makes it a bit predictable. So I think in time, the Mavericks are going to either need to develop or acquire a second playmaker, someone who can get the ball in his hands and create something, much in the same way that LeBron has had a secondary playmaker alongside him. Giannis, Harden, they've all gone through it. This is the evolution of a superstar.
Here's what I liked about Luka, that after the game last night, Rick Carlisle praised Luka's defense. He says he's playing the best defense since he came and joined the Mavericks. A reporter then turned around once Luka came for his press availability and told him about that quote. And Luka said, yeah, we're 1-3 in the bubble. That's all that matters. So his focus is definitely there. He understands the overall goal and team dynamic, and we will see how they progress. All right, the League Pass game of the night for us, Wizards Pelicans, 8 o'clock Eastern. The Pelicans entered the bubble with a favorable schedule, definitely an opportunity to make the playoffs. However, they are also 1-3 so far in Orlando, and they won't have Zion Williamson tonight. He's sitting for rest on the second night of a back-to-back. So, Amin, where are the Pelicans in terms of meeting your expectations in the bubble?
I mean, I thought their first couple of games were going to be tough. Obviously, the Utah loss was tough. They came a shot away from winning that game. The Clipper game was tough because they got outclassed. But really, that last game against the Kings last night, that's the one where I'm disappointed, because you can't come out to a team that's been 0-3 and had their own issues and get outworked and beat the way they did. Those are the games that you can't drop. You can schedule a Jazz loss and you can schedule a Clipper loss. But the Kings, no. And tonight is another one against the Wizards. These are the must-win games. That's why you have the easiest schedule in the bubble.
I got to say, I couldn't agree more. I mean, imagine, first of all, how do you give up 140 points to the Sacramento Kings? Second of all, how do you shoot 57% from the floor and lose by 15 points? And that's what they did in that game the other night. And, you can't start pointing to the young guys. That's where you have to say, I got to believe that J.J. Redick is telling them how disappointed he is in the results, and let's see if he can have an effect with them. Guys like Brandon Ingram, they're still learning, but Drew Holiday, those guys, they're the ones that are going to – we'll find out what they said in the locker room and if it worked by what happens tonight. What happens for tonight is going to be how the veterans reacted to this, not how the young guys.
It's going to be so interesting. This race for the play-in game is coming down to the wire. It's as exciting as we thought it would be. We thought it would be which team is going to be able to position itself in 9th place to fight that 8th place Grizzlies team for a play-in matchup to make it into the playoffs. Now it looks like we might have 2 teams in the play-in game we didn't expect. We will find out as we go. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.